Welcome to my channel. This video will briefly describe the ancient history of China. In ancient times, China was always a leading country in the world. As early as 2000 BC, China ended the era of tribal alliance and established the Xia dynasty, this first recorded dynasty. Subsequently, China experienced Shang and Zhou dynasties until 221 BC. Qin Shi Huang conquered 6 other countries and established the Qin dynasty, the first unified centralist feudal dynasty in Chinese history. Compared with Xia dynasty, which only had 10,000 square kilometers of territory in present-day Henan province, the Qin dynasty had a vast territory and laid the foundation for the territory of all dynasties in China. But soon, 14 years later, the Qin dynasty was overthrown by a peasant uprising due to tyranny, and Han dynasty was immediately established. This is the first peasant uprising in China. Unlike European countries, China is essentially an agricultural country with a vast territorial areas. Under the centralist rules, when areas far from center of the country were uprising occurred and powerful resistance force were generated through a large base of farmers. The situation where distant central governments were overthrown in time for response also frequently occurred in subsequent dynasties. Later in 126 BC, Zhang Qian, an official of Han dynasty, sent an envoy to the western regions at the behest of Liu Che, emperor of Wu of Han dynasty, and established the Silk Road. Some British people may have heard of the Silk Road, which is a trade route from China to West Asia, the Middle East, and even Europe. The Silk Road was still influences the world today. The Han dynasty lasted for more than 400 years, and then China fell into a period of division during the Wei, Jin, Southern and Northern dynasties, until the establishment of Sui dynasty in 581 AD. In the Sui dynasty, China established a far-reaching system, the imperial examination systems. This system allowed countries to select officials through exams rather than recommendations, which provide a pathway for those with real talent but no family background to advance. In West, a similar system was not proposed until the 11th century. In the following dynasties, Tang and Song dynasties from 8th to the 13th century, China reached the world peak in economic and political fields. China's 4 great inventions, the compass, gunpowder, paper, and printing, were introduced one after the other. These inventions quickly spread to the West through the Silk Road and provided technical support for the later Western industry revolution. In 1271, the Mongol Empire conquered almost the entire Asian and Europe continent and established Yuan dynasty in Beijing. This was the first time that China was ruled by foreign tribes and also marked the historical peak of China's territory. But just a few decades later, the Yuan dynasty quickly split and was overthrown by Ming dynasty in 1368. During this period, Emperor Chengzu Zhu dispatched Zheng He 7 times from the East China Sea to across Indian Ocean directly to the Middle East and even Africa, which led the development of China's maritime trade. By 1644, the last feudal dynasty in China, the Qing dynasty, was established. Although the Qing dynasty created a prosperous era known as Hai Qing from 1681 to 1722. The Qing dynasty's policy of isolationism led to the China being quickly surpassed by European countries and invaded by Western powers, and signed multiple unequal treaties, ultimately becoming a semi-colonial and semi-feudal empire.